Guys, do you need a less expensive alternative to the Freerite? Stick around because today I will be talking about a an alternative that just might do the trick. You can use it as a keyboard, just strictly as a keyboard. So there's three big uses for it, right? You can use it strictly as a keyboard, plug it in, and just use it as a keyboard, typing off of your main screen. It's like I said, it's a good. I'm a keyboard snob, so it's a relatively decent experience. It's a nice experience with this. I type with it. I've been typing with it this week, and I actually love the keyboard, so I'm good with that, right? You can use this as a second monitor. So this actually serves as a second monitor, an extended desktop monitor. So, like if you would have two monitors set up on your screen, well, instead of having two monitors, you could have that monitor and then you could have this monitor. So you can use it as an extended monitor. And then whatever you're typing on, if you're typing on something, you can have your research up on that and you can be typing here. Or you can have your research here and you can be typing there. Or you can play your music here while you're typing here. I mean, there's like a bunch of different ways. Like any way that you could use a keyboard and an extended desktop or an extended or second monitor, you can use this the same way. Okay? And then the third thing is you can use it as like a free write. So how do you do that, right? It takes discipline because you know this doesn't lock things down like a free write does, right? It doesn't make you write forward so that you can't use arrow keys. I mean, you're going to have all the capability that you would have using a keyboard or using your laptop or whatever, right? You're going to have all the same functionality on this. So you have to just be disciplined about using this when you use this. But what you can do, take your Microsoft Word document, move it onto this, and then what I do, I bought a USB-C, like a 6 foot long USB-C cord, and I use it on my Mac Mini, and I will talk about that in a second. But I use it on my Mac Mini, and I sit like way away from it, like against my headboard. And so what happens is, because I'm so far away from my book, and I mean from my computer, and I don't have my mouse or anything like that, really it helps restrict me to only writing what's on the screen. And you'll see in the demo coming up in a few minutes how once you limit yourself to what's on the screen, it really does become free write like. Okay, in that I can, if I restrict myself, if I discipline myself, just write forward. But unlike the free write, this can also be used to edit. So if you're in the editing phase and you want to use something like this as an editing tool, you can use it because you can use all the features that you have in Microsoft Word, you can use on this. So it really is a great multifunctional tool with some discipline. You can kind of use it like a free write, but you can also use it for other stuff too, which makes it maybe you get a little more bang for your buck when you're doing this, when you're using something like this. Now, a few things. One is, if you are a Mac user, here's some notes. And you will see this in the demo coming up in a few minutes. It does not work on the M1 iMac. When I plug it into my M1, it says there's no source or something like that. It gives you kind of an arrow and then it literally shuts down. So it won't even turn on, like you can't even power it on. So it does not work on the M1. When I use it on my MacBook 16, you'll get a small screen. Now, mind you, the screen size that you get on this is about the size of the screen that you get on this, right? But the problem is this screen is made in terms of the font size. It's made to optimize the size of the font so that you can see it. This one, keep in mind, is basically trying to show a full size Word doc in a mini screen. So it gets really, 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 really tiny. Really, really tiny. And then you can, of course, zoom to make it show up larger, right? But then, part of part of the document goes off the screen, and so it's always shifting to the right or to the left, right? Which is a pain in the neck. It's even a pain when you have to do it on a regular computer, right? So that is not optimal. So I would say if you only have an M1 iMac, this is not for you. 100% not for you. If you have a MacBook, it is, and you're not going to get the full usage out of this either. It's that. Thankfully, I have a Mac Mini. My Mac Mini gives me full access to the whole screen. And with that, it becomes fun, useful, like, thank goodness I'm going to get my money's worth out of this product, because I almost thought that, with my Mac products, I almost thought that I wasn't going to get the money's worth, and I am going to get my money's worth. So I'm excited about that. Now, a few other things about this. There's no power on it, right? So let me show you the back here. A few things. One is, I think this is the brightness, right? The brightness goes up and down. Brightness on the screen, and I think brightness on the keyboard, because the keyboard is backlit. You will see that in the demo coming up in a few minutes. Here's the power button to turn it on and off, and then these are the plugs. Now if you have a USB-C with the 4K video capability, then you only need to use this plug, right? These are if you have to use the HDMI and plug the HDMI into your thing. You figure out what cable situation works for yours. For me, simple, one cord, USB-C, and I use a 6-foot long one so I can move away from the actual computer and restrict myself from multitasking, okay? So that's one neat thing. Another neat thing is, as you can see here, it's got feet, right? So it does tilt up a little bit, but not quite enough. And certainly not as, it doesn't have as much, whatever you call it. You can see the difference, right? Between the Freewrite and the Kwumsy. Like, this is definitely a more pleasurable typing experience. This is more along the lines of a typewriter, where this is more along the lines of a keyboard, right? So there is a difference in that experience. But is it enough? Honestly, when I use this and I'm sitting in bed, I put it on my lap, the same way I would put my Freewrite on my lap, and I just type. And because this is backlit and it's at night, like, to me, if you're a night writer, like, this is preferable for me at that time of night. Now, when it gets daytime, the Freewrite is definitely my tool of choice. But and in the middle of the night, when I need something and I need some keyboard light, this is where I go. Okay, so if you have the Mac Mini, it's beautiful, and you'll see that in the video coming up. Like I said, you can use this with PC and Mac products. With the PC, you get a 10-point touchscreen, whereas with the Mac, there's a little limited functionality there, okay? You get all the word functions when you use this, and you don't get them. Like with this, you have to, send the document to yourself and paste the words from one document to another. So, there's a little more friction in the process there, because you've got a few extra steps that you have to do if you use a Freewrite. One thing I love about the free write that you don't get here unless you have the discipline to really make yourself do it is that it forces you to type forward. You really can't go backwards. You can't arrow backwards. There's no arrow keys on the. If you look here, you'll see there's no arrow keys on the free write keyboard, so it really makes you write forward. You can't go sideways. You can't go backwards. It is intended for the creative process. Um, but this allows you to do all of it, right? You can write forward with it and you can go backwards and then use it as a like you would any normal Word document. And so for that reason, maybe something that you've not experienced, and I've certainly not experienced, is having an editing tool that is like a free write, right? Where it does limit me, where it does restrict my ability to multitask, but I can focus on editing on this as opposed to the creative process. So it's definitely something to think about, right? If you're strapped for cash, don't want to spend the money on the free write, or you want more functionality than the free write offers. Okay, so anyway, coming up shortly, I am going to have a demo, and you're going to get to see all the functions. And let me just tell you, it was not easy because my Mac Mini is in my bedroom, and so I kind of had to move my shop from here to my bedroom and kind of put that together, and then come in here and then do this video. So it was a little struggle, but I feel like it's what I owe you since I certainly haven't done a video in a while. So I hope that you're going to get a lot out of the video and the demo. Okay, so stay tuned. I'm coming right back with the demo. All right, everybody. Now it is time for the demo. Okay. I will tell you. You can see there's like fingerprints all over the screen that I tried to wipe off, but it didn't work out so well. So, but you won't see it that badly once I do the demo. Okay. So the first thing I want to do is show you what this screen looks like when you use a MacBook. Now it does work on a MacBook, but if you go to purchase a Kwumsy or one of these similar screens, they will give you all kinds of warnings about how this does not have the same functionality on a MacBook as it does a PC, and there is a good reason why. Okay, so I'm going to show you what you will see if you have a MacBook, and that's all you have, right? All right, so this is the Kwumsy starting up. Plugged in, I use a USB-C plug-in for this computer. And you see, now if you look, you see all this space on the side. It doesn't use any of that space. I don't care how you do the settings. That's as good as it gets on a MacBook. Okay. And this is why, when I first got it, I was like, really? This is this is the view I'm going to have when I use it. So I was not thrilled at all. Okay. So what you have to do, you use this like an extended display. So basically I have to move my mouse onto, it's funny that I'm just learning today that, my mouse extends from my Mac Mini to my MacBook and then to this screen here. But I just got to get it on this screen. All right. So you can see the mouse right there. Now it's on this screen. And now that the mouse is on there, I can use it just like an extended screen. Like, it doesn't quite have as much functionality as an iPad would in the ecosystem, right? Because this is not a Mac product, but you will see I can type. Okay. I can use use touch functions to give me, so that I can use the ribbon on the Microsoft Word, but you see how small this is, right? It's like super tiny. So if I would say that if all you have is a MacBook, and you don't have a PC of any kind, like, this may not be your tool, right? This is probably not the tool that you want to go with unless you're okay with not getting all this real estate and only using this little screen. Now, I will say, even when you get the Freewrite, the Freewrite screen is actually about that size, right? But what you're actually typing on a screen that is made to show 6 lines of text, whereas this, you can use it like a regular Word page, but the sizing of it is going to be crazy. Like right now, the zoom, I had it like going 500 to get it be able to see it. So look, now the zoom has come up. If I use it like at 100, there you see, that's 100. So you don't really see very well on this. Okay. So for that reason, I would say you probably don't want to do this if you only have a MacBook as your, to connect this keyboard to. Now, so I'm plugging in my Mac Mini screen now. See, the Kwumsy comes on. And look at this. With the Mac Mini, you get the whole screen. So, as you can see here, this is an extended screen. You see the mouse? Now I'm moving it back over to my main screen. Okay, so what I'm going to do is pull over a Word doc. So this is my Word doc. And if I maximize my Word doc space, gotta move it back over here so I can get the screen back up so I can make sure the demo is going okay. Good. Okay, so when you see I maximize the space, I can see perfectly. Like, even me, as blind as I am, right, I can see perfectly. And I have most of the functionality of my, of Microsoft Word. So I can type. You can hear the clicky keys. They are Gatoron blue keys. So you get the mechanical keyboard, very similar to the Freewrite. The Freewrite gives you visibility into about 6 lines of space. The difference in this one, though, is that you can actually scroll back. You can scroll up. You have 100% of the functionality of Word, which you do not get on the Freewrite, but with good reason. The good thing about this keyboard itself is that even with the ability to multitask, you don't really have a lot of real estate to multitask. So when you bring your document onto this screen, pretty much all you're going to be able to do is type, because there's just not room for more windows than this. Now, you could have more windows. For example, what I could do, okay, I could be typing, and then, so I'm moving it over. So I know what I have to do here is minimize this screen a little bit so that you can actually see the music screen coming over here. So now I've put Apple Music over here, right? So if I want to play music, I can play. Now we'll play off of my speakers. Now I don't have speakers actually on this computer because I really do try to use it for no distractions. But if I had speakers on my Mac Mini that I could actually really listen to music, I could listen. So I could have this down here, right? And still type and listen to my music while I type and all of that, right? And be able to control it from this screen. So really, truly, this can be used as an extended screen, right? But if you want to use it like a Freewrite, what you would do is bring over your Word doc, maximize it like I have here, and just type forward. Don't type back. Don't edit. So it requires discipline on your part. Okay, there's one more thing I wanted to show you guys, the focus mode. So what you can do with this, and I didn't even realize it until just now, and I'll be using it later today, is the focus mode in Word. So if you look at Word, and you look down here in the corner, you see where my mouse is moving, and you see where it says focus. You can click focus and it gets rid of all the ribbons and all the views and everything, and you're just using a plain sheet of paper. Now, this is very much like what you would use on the Freewrite. So what you could do is use this, use the same view to kind of get that Freewrite experience. Like I said, if you need an alternative because you don't want to spend or cannot spend that much money on a Freewrite, so the way you get out of it is just to hit escape. But to get in the focus mode, I didn't do anything to make this, so this must be like a new function or a new option. But I just opened the Word as I would normally open it. I looked down here on the bottom ribbon and I saw it. So I just clicked focus, and you see all that other stuff goes away. So all your margins go away, all of that stuff. And now all you can do is just write, right? That's it. So that's kind of cool. So I will be using that as soon as I'm finished with this video. But I just wanted you guys to see that. But also, what you can't do on the Freewrite is, like, if you have a document that you need to edit and you need to really focus, you can actually do that on this one, and you really can't do that one on the Freewrite. The Freewrite is not meant for the editing phase. It is meant for the creative phase, right? So, but you do have both options in this device, which is kind of neat. Now, I'll tell you a couple of things about this. What I do is I connect the Kwumsy to using a 6-foot USB-C, so that I can connect it to my Mac Mini, but I can sit like away from the computer, away from all the distractions. I can't easily get to, YouTube. I can't easily get to Twitter. I can't easily get to, if I'm sitting back away from the computer. So that's how I do it. I connect it to my iMini. I sit against my headboard, and I use the Kwumsy on my lap, very similar to how I use the Freewrite, but this has to be connected to a computer. You cannot use this wirelessly. You cannot take this outside and sit it on your lap and use it on your deck, or carry it around, or take it to the coffee shop and use it. You have to have it connected to some kind of computer, right? Or an iMac Mini, or a desktop tower, or whatever. It's got to be connected to something. And that is the difference between this and the Freewrite. The Freewrite is truly freedom. This one ties you down a little bit. You have to be connected to something. But if you're connected, it will give you the functionality that you need. Okay, so big difference there. Another big difference is when you type in the Freewrite, it automatically saves to a cloud immediately. When you're using Kwumsy, you have to use the same cloud, the same saving system that you use on your regular laptop. I have iCloud. I also can turn on my OneDrive and automatic autosave in my OneDrive if I want to. I don't right now, but if I wanted to, I could do that, right? And so then anytime I typed, I would get that same functionality that I do in a Freewrite. But with Freewrite, it's automatic. With with this, you have to use the same system that you use for your anything you type in Microsoft Word, or anything you type on your desktop or laptop. Okay, and this one you can move. You can arrow up and down. There are no arrow keys on the Freewrite, right? Now, the other thing I really like about this is backlighting, right? Now, the Freewrite keyboard does not have backlight. So it has a backlit screen right here, right? So you get light in the screen, but you don't get light in the keyboard. So what happens for me sometimes, I'll wake up at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning because I can have a bright idea. And then I want to type in the dark, right? I don't want to have to turn on lights because, part laziness, part tiredness, part I just want to get to it. If I'm distracted and I have to get out of the groove that I'm trying to get into, then I might not get into the groove. So I don't want any distractions. I don't want any friction in that process, right? With my free write, I will actually have to turn on a light, lean over, turn on a light, or use the one on my keyboard. And it's really not light enough. I mean, the keyboard isn't light enough until, it gets bright outside or until I turn on a light. Whereas this, I have found I can just wake up, plug it in, and go to town. And I can start typing and I don't have to worry about it. And also, I'm also typing directly into my Word document. So I don't have to copy and paste my stuff from there to there. But what I do notice is that because I do go back and edit a lot. Sometimes I'll go back and edit and read to kind of get caught up so I can start moving forward. But a lot of times I do too much editing and then I don't make as much progress. So when I really want to make progress, when there's really a lot of daylight, what I want to use is my free write. When I really want to do editing, when I really want to kind of edit to get back into the groove, this is a good tool. Now let me show you some of the backlighting options that this has. Now this is actually the one that I use it on most frequently, where it just kind of cycles through all the different colors. It's kind of a rainbow color. So you get yellow, you get green, you get blue, you get purple, you get red, you get all of that stuff. Okay. So use the function key and the insert key here, and that changes your backlighting options. So you'll see multiple options here. So you see it kind of gives you that rainbow view immediately. Then it has some moving views. There's more. Okay, I know it looks like it wasn't doing more, but it is doing more. Okay. Got that one. Then it's got this one. Got this one. It's kind of neat. I think I've typed with this one before. This one. That one. I think we did that one already. So I'm going to try and get back to the one that I actually use it on. And then that is it. Oh, this is one too. This is kind of cool, right? Kind of cycles through all of it. Now this is the one I actually use all the time, right? So I'm going to leave it there. But anyway, but that's it, right? So really you get 3 things out of this tool. You get an extended desktop, right? You get a keyboard, and then you kind of get your free write experience. But remember, it always has to be connected to a computer device. Always has to be connected. The only way it works, it's like a keyboard in that way. It only works if it's plugged in to a computer. So it's truly a keyboard that way. You have to have a computer in order for the display to work, right? Now, I will also say that it does not work well on MacBooks, and it doesn't work, at least on my iMac. Now I'll try it on my older iMac when I get downstairs, and I'll do another show, another episode, or at least an update if I find something differently. But it doesn't work on my iMac M1. I will see if it works downstairs on my older iMac. I think a 27-inch iMac down there, right? So in my office. So I'll see if it works there. And I will also see if I can connect it to my work computer and use it on my work computer, which is a PC, and see what the different functionality is there. So I have a couple more, or at least one more episode, maybe a couple more episodes coming up where I will cover this and how well it works on different machines. And That's going to do it for today. I would not tell anyone not to buy the free write because obviously I bought, not only have I bought the free write, but I have pre-ordered the free write alpha, which is like the alpha smart. Right? Which I already have 3 alpha smarts, but I still bought it, right? One, I wanted to show it to you guys, but 2, it was a gadget and I just wanted it. So, but it's not coming out until next July. Okay. But anyway, so I wouldn't tell anybody don't buy the free write because I certainly bought it and I love it and I use it all the time. But if your wallet says not so much, this might be a viable alternative at around the $300 mark. So it is not $467 like the Free Write Traveler, and it is not $649 like the Free Write. So, a viable alternative, okay? If you have any questions at all about this tool or my thoughts on it that I didn't cover in here, please leave your comments below. They may end up being of the subject of another video where I do more demos or answer more questions or, provide more information or details that you don't have today, okay? Please feel free, leave comments below. And I'm happy to answer questions. Don't forget to subscribe and click the notification bell so you can get the videos. Hopefully I'll be able to start doing them a little more frequently in the new year now that I've got some of these major projects off my plate and I'm getting back to life. Okay? Thank you guys for watching. Thank you so much for everybody who takes time to watch the content or takes time to subscribe, notify, tell another writer. And I've got to tell you guys, I have too many gadgets. I know I have said it before. I am really going to think about how to do this in a way where I can make sure the tools go to writers who really, really need the tools. But I am going to offload some of these gadgets over the coming months, especially now that I've hit the 500 mark. I think that's amazing, and maybe that's a way to celebrate. So I feel like at least 4 of the tools are going bye-bye, right? And so I will talk about that in the next episode, and I will think about how to do it in a way, maybe have a drawing or something in a way. But I really wanted to go to people who really write and who really will use the tools versus who will get the tool and, end up throwing it up on eBay and just selling it off. I feel like that's a disservice to all the writers out there who would actually write and enjoy and need these tools versus somebody who just wants to sell it off. So that's my quandary, and I'll figure that out. Maybe it's that you show me a video of yourself in your writing environment where you write and the tools that you use. Maybe it's that, and then maybe I have a friend help do a drawing or something like that. But I want to make sure that it's actually going to writers who really need and will use the tools. So anyway, I'm thinking about it. Don't think that I've forgotten, because I really haven't. I just, honestly, I've been working so much, I haven't really figured out a system for doing that yet. So, but I'm going to work that out over the coming weeks. Maybe in the new year, we'll start off with with some kind of giveaway, so that I can offload some of these tools and make room for the new ones. But I know of at least 4 are going. 2 are going to be Alpha Smarts, and 2 are going to be, and 2 of them are going to be digital notebooks. I give away 2 digital notebooks and 2 Alpha Smarts for sure. So it's just, how am I going to do that? Okay. So stay tuned. Lots more coming. More gadgets coming. I know, and there's another gadget out there that I have been resisting buying, but I kind of feel like I'm going to purchase it at the end, and that's the Kindle Scribe. I feel like I want to try it out. I feel like I need it, and I want to try it out. So Amazon, if you're out there and you want to send me one to demo on the channel, I would love to have it. But I might end up buying that. And then, maybe giving that away too. I don't know. We'll see. But anyway, thank you guys for joining. And I will see you next time.